A rocket soars into the night sky, its flames painting the stars. A sleek electric car hums down a highway, silent but powerful. A vision of Mars flickers in the mind of a man who dares to dream beyond Earth. This is a world of Elon Musk, a world he built from nothing. From a bullied kid with $2,000 in his pocket to one of the richest, most visionary people alive, his story is a heart-pounding saga of struggle, failure, and unrelenting ambition. Buckle up for a journey that'll leave you inspired to chase your own impossible dreams. Elon Musk was born in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, a place far from the glittering stages he'd one day command. His mother, May, a Canadian model and dietitian, and his father, Errol, a South African engineer, gave him a childhood that was anything but easy. When his parents divorced at age 9, Elon chose to live with Errol, a decision he later regretted. Errol was emotionally distant, sometimes harsh, and money was often tight. At school, Elon faced relentless bullying. Kids mocked his quiet nature and threw him downstairs. One beating landed him in the hospital. Yet, even as a child, Elon was different. He devoured books, J.R.R. Tolkien, Isaac Asimov, computer manuals, anything that fed his insatiable curiosity. At 10, he got his hands on a Commodore VIC-20 computer and taught himself to code. By 12, he sold a video game he created, Blaster, for $500. It was a small win, but it hinted at the fire burning inside him. South Africa felt like a cave for a teenager with dreams bigger than the horizon. At 17, in 1989, Elon made a bold move. With no clear plan, just a Canadian passport from his mother and $2,000 scraped together, he left for Canada. He landed in Montreal, a stranger in a cold, unfamiliar land. For a year, he survived on odd jobs, shoveling grain in Saskatchewan for $6 an hour, cleaning boiler rooms in Ontario for $18. The work was backbreaking, the pay meager. He lived on $1 a day, eating hot dogs and oranges to stretch his budget. But Elon didn't see these as setbacks. Every blister, every long shift was a step towards something greater. He once said, "I didn't come from money, but I had this burning desire to do something meaningful." A scholarship to the University of Pennsylvania in 1992 was his first big break. There, he soaked up knowledge like a sponge, earning dual degrees in physics and economics. He wasn't just studying, he was preparing to tackle humanity's biggest challenges: sustainable energy, space exploration, artificial intelligence. After graduating, he started a PhD at Stanford in 1995, chasing ideas about energy storage. But 2 days in, he walked away. The internet was exploding, and Elon sensed a once-in-a-lifetime chance to build something real. That choice, leaving the safety of academia for the chaos of entrepreneurship, changed everything. His first venture, Zip2, was born in 1995 with his brother Kimball. The idea was simple, a digital city guide to help newspapers go online. But the reality was brutal. They had no money, no connections, just a beat-up computer and a tiny office in Palo Alto. Elon coded through the night, sleeping on a stained couch. They showered at the local YMCA. Investors dismissed them as nobodies. "We were like cockroaches, just refusing to die," Kimball later said. Elon's work ethic was relentless. He'd code for 20 hours straight, fueled by coffee and sheer will. In 1999, after 4 grueling years, Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million. Elon, at 28, walked away with $22 million. He wasn't broke anymore, but he was nowhere near satisfied. Most would have stopped there, basking in the cash. Not Elon. He saw money as a tool, not a goal. In 1999, he poured nearly all his Zip2 earnings into X.com, an online banking startup. The dot-com bubble was swelling, but so were the risks. X.com aimed to revolutionize finance, but it was a chaotic ride. Server crashes, fierce competition, and internal clashes. In 2000, X.com merged with a rival, Confinity, to form PayPal. Elon became CEO, but the pressure was crushing. Technical failures piled up, and boardroom fights erupted. While Elon was on his honeymoon in Australia, the board ousted him in a brutal coup. It was a gut punch. He could have walked away, but he didn't. He stayed on as chairman, pouring his energy into PayPal's success. In 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. Elon's share was $180 million. At 31, he was a multimillionaire, but his real work was just beginning. Here's where the story turns epic. With $180 million in the bank, Elon could have retired to a yacht. Instead, he looked to the stars. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with a mission so audacious it sounded like science fiction: make space travel affordable and colonize Mars to make humanity multiplanetary. The aerospace industry laughed. Elon had no rocket experience, and building rockets was insanely expensive. He poured $100 million of his own money into SpaceX, knowing one failure could wipe him out. The early years were a nightmare. SpaceX's first 3 launches, 2006, 2007, and 2008, ended in fiery explosions. Each failure cost tens of millions. By 2008, Elon was nearly bankrupt, his personal fortune drained. Friends saw him unraveling, haunted by the weight of it all. "I never thought I'd lose everything," he later admitted. At the same time, Elon was fighting another battle. In 2004, he'd invested in Tesla, a fledgling electric car company, and by 2008, it was bleeding cash. The financial crisis hit, and Tesla faced bankruptcy. Elon became CEO, working 100-hour weeks to keep it alive. He invested his last $40 million into Tesla, even as SpaceX teetered. He was broke again, borrowing money for rent, couch surfing with friends. "It was like staring into the abyss," he said. His personal life crumbled too. His marriage to Justine Wilson ended in 2008, adding to the strain. Then came the miracle. In September 2008, SpaceX's 4th launch was make or break. The Falcon 1 rocket roared into the sky and reached orbit. It was the first privately built rocket to do so. Elon wept, relief washing over him. NASA, impressed, awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract to supply the International Space Station. Days later, Tesla secured a $40 million investment, enough to keep it afloat. The Tesla Roadster, launched earlier that year, had already shown the world that electric cars could be fast and desirable. Against impossible odds, both companies survived. What drove Elon through this chaos? His mindset. He didn't just want success, he wanted to change the world. "I don't care about being rich," he once said. "I want to solve problems that matter." Every failure was a lesson. Zip2 taught him to outwork everyone. PayPal showed him how to pivot under pressure. SpaceX and Tesla proved that persistence could defy gravity. He embraced risk, betting everything on his vision. He also mastered simplicity, cutting costs at Tesla by rethinking every component, building reusable rockets at SpaceX to slash launch prices. His companies weren't just businesses, they were crusades. The breakthrough snowballed. In 2012, SpaceX's Falcon 9 docked with the International Space Station, a historic first for a private company. In 2015, Tesla's Model S redefined what cars could be: electric, luxurious, and packed with tech. By 2020, Tesla's market value soared past $800 billion, making it the world's most valuable car maker. SpaceX was launching astronauts and landing rockets like something out of a movie. Elon's net worth climbed to over $200 billion, cementing his place among the world's richest. But he didn't stop. He founded Neuralink in 2016 to merge human brains with AI, and the Boring Company in 2016 to dig tunnels for futuristic transport. Each idea was crazier, bolder than the last. Elon's journey wasn't just about money, it was about impact. He faced skeptics who called him a dreamer, critics who mocked his failures, and personal lows that tested his soul. Yet he kept going. He slept on factory floors during Tesla's Model 3 production in 2018, worked alongside his engineers, and pushed himself harder than anyone. His teams loved him for it. "He's not a boss who sits in an ivory tower," one SpaceX engineer said. "He's in the trenches with us." What can we learn from Elon Musk? First, dream big. Small goals don't change the world. Second, embrace failure. It's not the end, just a detour. Third, work harder than anyone else. Success isn't luck, it's grit. Fourth, simplify. Complexity is the enemy of progress. Most importantly, believe in something bigger than yourself. For Elon, It's humanity's survival, on Earth and beyond. His companies are tools to make that happen, whether it's Tesla fighting climate change or SpaceX reaching for Mars. Today, Elon Musk stands as a titan, not just a wealth but a possibility. From a broke kid in South Africa to a visionary owning the future, he's proof that no dream is too wild if you're willing to pay the price. He's not perfect. His blunt tweets, his relentless pace, his controversies spark debate. But love him or hate him, you can't deny his impact. He's built rockets that touch the stars, cars that redefine roads, and a legacy that inspires millions. As the sun sets on the SpaceX launch pad, Elon's words echo. The future is vastly more exciting and interesting if we're a spacefaring civilization and a multiplanetary species. That's his challenge to us, to dream, to fight, to build a future worth living in. So, what's your Mars? What's the dream you'll chase, no matter the odds? Elon Musk showed us it possible. Now it's your turn. This story is brought to you by Harmony Publishing, who is one of the top self-publishing companies out there. They make publishing easy, professional, and affordable. Just check the description for more information about them.